Dana Michelle Plato was not only a great American actress, but also an influential child actress. From being on the list of 100 greatest kid stars to being nominated for a Young Artist Award and being the first celebrity to star in a video game. Despite living a short life, Dana was a fascinating woman who we simply have to give a spotlight to. More on that later. By the way, only a small amount of people who watch our channel are actually subscribed. Before we tell you the untold truth about Dana Plato, consider subscribing. It takes less than a second, and it's completely free, and it would make our day. You can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind. Now, let's get on with the video. Living in a plastic bubble. Dana's biological mother was a teenager who already had the responsibility of taking care of a child, and because she couldn't handle a 1.5-year-old boy and having a newborn, she decided to give Dana away. Dana was adopted when she was just 7 months old. Even though she was lucky enough to be adopted so early, she had the misfortune of her adoptive parents getting a divorce when she was 3 years old and went on to live with her mom. She later admitted on the Marilyn Kagan show that her mother wanted her to have as normal a childhood as she could, and even though she is very grateful that she made that happen for her, her mother raised her as if she was in a plastic bubble, not knowing what is happening in the world to make sure she wouldn't turn out like a prima donna. Starring in over 100 commercials. Dana started her life before the screen at a very young age. Like many childhood stars start and skyrocket their career, her mother took her on auditions for various TV commercials, and she did such a good job that by the age of 7, she appeared in more than 100 commercials. Besides trying to make it as an actress, Dana was a very talented figure skater that trained hard in the hopes of making it on the Olympic team. However, because she got so many movie roles, she didn't have enough time to pursue figure skating full-time. When she was 10 years old, she got a role in a TV show called The $6 Million Man. Even though she only made a brief appearance on it, the show was the start of Dana's career. The same year, she got another part, this time in a TV movie, Beyond the Bermuda Triangle, but it wasn't until she starred in Exorcist II, The Heretic, that she got her debut, even though she didn't get credits for the film. It didn't matter that the movie wasn't that well received, as only a year later she landed a role in California Suite, a movie that received 10 nominations and won an Academy Award. Her Life on Different Strokes, 1978. Dana is a good example that even brief appearances count when you're trying to make it in the world of acting. While on The Gong Show, she stood out to a producer and got her the role of Kimberly Drummond on Different Strokes. The show became popular the second it aired, and Dana was very happy to be a part of the team. She was on the show for 6 years and then left for a year only to come back for the show's final season. Upon leaving the show, Dana tried to find more significant roles and establish herself as a movie actress rather than another TV show. Like many actors, she struggled to be successful in finding a role that wouldn't be in a television series. Thinking it would help her stand out, she decided to get breast implants and even posed for the Playboy magazine. Never Being Alone Again, 1984. Every time a star disappears from a TV show, like Dana had a year gap on Different Strokes, people always like to make speculations about why they leave. Most of the times, rumors lead to the actor or actress being fired from the show because of their attitude, even though it turns out that in most cases, that is not the truth. The truth about Plato leaving was in the producers finding out that she was pregnant, wrote her off the show, saying she didn't have what they were looking for anymore. In 1984, Dana and her husband of 1 year, Lanny Lambert, welcomed their son Tyler. For some stars, having a child and getting fired for it would be the end of the world. Dana, however, couldn't be happier. Many people in her circle said that she was ecstatic when she found out she was pregnant, and she said that by having the baby, she wouldn't feel alone anymore. Difficulties finding work. The end of the 80s and the beginning of the 90s were very unlucky times for Dana. Not only did she have a hard time landing a role after having a son that would differ in any way from Different Strokes. To make things worse for her, in the same week she got a divorce from her husband Larry Lambert, her mother passed away. Because she couldn't handle so much sadness, she decided to sign over power of attorney, and everything happened so quickly that she didn't have the time or power to do research on the accountant she gave that job to. It turned out that he was a scammer and left without a trace with most of her money. As if that wasn't enough for Dana, she lost the battle for custody of her son, leaving her with only visiting rights, and thinking things wouldn't get better, Plato began to be desperate. From Different Strokes to getting arrested, 1991. Dana's career not turning out like she envisioned it only made her more miserable and ended in her trying to rob a video store in 1991. The shopkeeper called the police and told them that one of the stars from Different Strokes wanted to take his money. Even though Plato ran from the scene, she returned 15 minutes later and got arrested. She got 5 years of probation because of the act, and since nothing celebrities do escapes the media, the articles written about the event posed questions about child stars and the pressure on Hollywood ruining them. With the probation and entering a rehab program because she was forging a drug prescription, Dana was unemployed and struggled to get work in the acting business so much that she had to take a regular job in a dry cleaning store, leaving us too soon. In May 1999, while she was engaged with her manager, Robert Menchaca, and they were visiting his mother, she began to feel sick, so she decided to take some painkillers and a muscle relaxant in the hopes to feel better, and went to sleep in their RV outside the house. When her husband woke up in the morning, she found her lying motionless next to him. At first, they told the media that due to the mix of medication she took because she wasn't feeling well, she passed away due to an accidental overdose. However, because of her being known for abusing drugs, her death was later marked as a suicide. Dana will always be remembered. In the years 2000 and 2006, 2 films were made about child stars on the TV show Different Strokes. Dana wasn't the only one from the show who struggled when it ended. In the later one, Behind the Camera, The Unauthorized Story of Different Strokes, 2 of her co-stars, Bridges and Coleman, were filmed paying tribute to Dana at her grave. Bridges also wrote a heartfelt comment on Twitter on the day it would be Plato's 55th birthday, saying that she was the one person he could rely on and talk to when he had a bad day, and that she was one of his best friends. It's always nice to hear when people are remembered, so we are ending this video on this heartwarming note. Comment down below if what did you like the most about Dana, and check out more of our videos in this series about other remarkable celebrities.